Alright guys, welcome to another UK scale and crawler video. Keeping in with tradition from when I'm sat at home doing videos for you. I've got me my beer. We need that. Right, today's video is about gearboxes. Standard Axial tranny is not bad, but you tend to strip out the idler gear quite easily, and then if you do end up ripping the idler gear, you've then got to go out and buy, then people will buy a metal one, then you put that in, and then you strip the diff gear because you put a metal gear in. So it's the standard Axial. They said the Axial upgraded gears cost a mint. They're proper expensive. Whereas I found on eBay, there's a place on eBay that's doing full aluminium gearboxes with all full hardened steel gear sets for really not that much money. They are made in China. I've been running one in my Land Rover for about 3 months, and it's phenomenal. It's not dyed, it's not stripped, nothing. It's just took every last little bit of punishment it's been given. As you can see in the Land Rover, I'm running a 550 size E Savage motor as well. So it's the same size as the DeWalt motors. It's got mega amounts of torque, but it'll run up to 4S. I run it on 3S. The pack is, let me see, it's a 45C discharge 3S 5000 milliamp LiPo. So it's got mega amounts of power. It's got plenty of wheel speed. I'm also running a 20 tooth pinion on it with an 80 tooth Wraith spur gear. So it's got a fair old bit of wheel speed, and yeah, it's been really good. It hasn't died, it hasn't done nothing. It's just been phenomenal since I've had it, as I said. So I've ordered another one just as a backup gearbox, you know, for this thing. That's also running the same sort of gearbox in it, but at the end of the day, for the price they are, if you do end up killing one, then you may as well have a second just sat there. So I thought I'd better show you what it is that I'm running in there. Apologise for all the motorbikes and stuff I'm sat in my back garden today. So that's the gearbox. They do them in different colours, I must admit, but I just thought I'd get black because no one sees it anyway. So, but they're a really nice fit. Everything's spot on with them. They don't come with the set with the screws that go in the base of the gearbox, so for when you mount it in. So if you're building a rig and you buy one of these and you haven't got the screws to put in it, then you're a bit stuffed. You're gonna have to get them, but you can get them few and far between anyway. The reason why I really like them: number one, they've got full hardened steel gear set in. The top main shaft is one piece. Or the input shaft off the spur, that's one piece. The diff locker at the bottom, that's also one piece. So it'll take a lot to snap them, or to strip them. They come fully built, ready to go like this. The only thing I did find is they've got no grease in. So I would suggest stripping it and throwing some grease in, which is what I'm going to do to this one in a minute while I'm on camera, so you can see how easy it is to do. They come with all the bearings. They have got a hardened steel spur gear on. I would suggest taking that off and putting a plastic Axial one on. Reason being, if something's going to strip, it'll either be your spur gear, your pinion gear, or you might end up wrecking one of the gears inside the gearbox. So on all of mine, even though I'm running full hardened steel gears all the way through, I always put plastic spur gear on. Because the last thing I want to do is when I'm out, if I end up snapping a prop shaft, or if I end up snapping something inside the gearbox, 9 times out of 10 you're stuffed. You haven't got a spare one, you can't go out, but you can't carry on trailing, so in which case you've got to go back home, and then you've got to buy parts, you wait for weeks for them to turn up. The spare gears are only £4. You know, I'm not too sure what they are in American currency, but or even Canadian currency, but they're really not expensive. So if you put a plastic spare on, if it is going to break something while it's out, it's only going to be the spare gear, which is like a 2-minute fix. And all you do is you run them 3 screws out, pull that off, take the main bolt off the middle, pull that out, undo the 3 on the inside, take your spare gear off, put your new one on, put all the bolts back in again, build it back up, away you go. You can do it while it's in your truck. You haven't got to take your truck to bits to do it. So if you are, I personally would always run plastic spur gear just for that fact. You know, if you go out and you get hardened steel pinion, fair enough. You know, it will work. It won't kill the pinion off. It won't kill the spur gear off. But if you're out driving and you put a lot of torque through it, I'd rather it with a spur gear it snapped than it took one of the drive shafts and then you're stuffed. You can't go out for the rest of the day and you've got to go home. So I really recommend these. You know, for the price of them, they're really not expensive. They're about 40 quid, including shipping. And then it bolts straight in your car. You know, you can't go wrong. I'll pull this one to bits now just to show you what all the gears are like and the bearings inside and all that lot. And then you can make your own decision on whether you want to get one or not, but realistically I can't fault them. So I'll see you in a minute. I'll pull this to bits. Right, after a little bit of messing, that's what you end up with inside. So you've got a hardened diff locker, which is one piece. You've got hardened idler gear, and then the hardened input from the spur gear as well. The shaft as well, there's no slipper clutch on this. That's the other reason why I run plastic spur. The shaft itself on the top, it's shaped more like the end of your half shafts, so it's got two flats on it. It works really well, to be honest with you. So I do like these gearboxes, but yeah, that's what it looks like inside. Well, as you can see, it's as dry as a bone. So we get some grease in there. A lot of people go on about bloody, what's it called, marine grease and all that lot. Yeah, use your marine grease if you've got it, but to be honest with you, any grease is grease. It's all waterproof, so it doesn't have to be marine grease that you use. I like using the red lithium grease, and I use it on everything. So a big fingerful of that, and then pull out your diff gear, or the main locker at the bottom, and just slither all around that. If you use a syringe, if you want to use a syringe to do it, you can do. You can use it to do it whichever way you want, but either way, make sure you get a load of grease on the bottom gear. You don't want to put that much on that it's going to start binding, but you need enough on so it coats around all three sets of gears. The other thing I do as well, stick some on your bearings. Because the whole point of waterproofing is that your bearings aren't waterproof, no matter what you do. So you've got to put some grease on them. It stops the water getting in, stops them dying off. So literally just a case of just chuck a bit in, smudge it round. You put a bit in the base of the case, and then you can put it over the bottom of the bearing like that. That'll stop it getting in, or the majority of the water getting in. And just get a bit more of this. Stick a little bit around that bearing, like that, and then a little bit around that bearing, and then you can put your idler back in again. If you are going to do this, be prepared to get a little bit messy as well. Just need to put a little bit on that bearing there. Just put a nice thin coat over and try and push it into the bearing. If you push it in, then it effectively creates a seal on the inside. If you're running rubber sealed bearings, don't worry about it so much, but if you're not running rubber sealed bearings, you're best off trying to squeeze some through it, and basically you pack the bearing with a bit of grease then, and once you've packed it, it stops the water getting in. So do that. Put that back on the top shaft. Oh, let me pull the shim off then. They come pre-shimmed and everything, these gearboxes as well, so everything's a nice tight fit on it. Let me go and get that off my fingers 1 minute. The magic of telly, Shazam, I'm back. Right, so once you've got it all nicely smudged with grease, and you've done the rest of the inside round all your bearings and stuff, then your next mission, should you choose to accept it, is literally just spin the spur gear like that, and as you'll see, it's transferring across onto all 3 of the gears. I know it sounds a bit noisy, it's the motor plates hitting the spur gear, that's all. You'll be alright in a sec. So do that, and get your back half of the gearbox, shove it back on. It might be a bit of a squeeze to go on this, but it's because it's aluminium, everything's a good, nice, solid, tight fit. Right, I think the gearboxes are made by Jazz Rider. I know they're not Top Cat. They could either be Jazz Rider or they'll be GPM. That's my Hilux is running a GPM gearbox in it as well, and GPM gears, and it's been outstanding. That's brushless and everything, and it's never done no harm to it at all. So anyway, so you get your 3 long screws again. Just place them all back in the back, like so. And you need, there's a shorter one as well. This shorter one goes in the side here, and then it should just stick through the front for you to put a nut on it, if you can see. So we'll start doing up the top ones first. So the top ones go back into your motor plate. It also, as well, this gearbox, it comes with a HD motor plate with it as well. It's a lot thicker than the standard Axial one. Due to the fact that it's a lot stronger, it stops any play from between your spare and pinion gear. Alright, babe. Come here. Can you say hello? What's that? Come get on. So do that, and then you get a little nut, put that on the other side. Just try and get a couple of turns on that with your fingers first. And you can wind that back up. Just get that so it's relatively tight. You don't need to go crazy on it and start cranking it like mad, but just get it a little bit tight. And then there you go. One greased up gearbox. I'm going to wipe out the back out of here because there's a little bit too much there, so we give that a wipe in a second. But as you can see, it's still nice and free. Also as well, because it's metal, it will give you a bit more noise than the standard SCX-10 one. And the SCX-10 one, because it's plastic, is really quiet. You will get a little bit of noise out of this, but it's the same on all hardened steel gearboxes, so don't worry. But yeah, so that's a wrap up for today's video. Get yourself one of them, you can't go wrong for 40 quid. You know, nice strong gearbox, a lot stronger than the standard SCX-10 one, and it'll go straight in your rig. All you need to do is chuck a bit of grease in it. So yeah, nice one, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will try my damnedest to get out next weekend. It's just I've been so busy. In fact, I'll tell you what, next weekend I'm going to the, FIM Motocross Nationals. I'm going to be taking camera with me, and I'll be getting loads of footage and loads of pictures and stuff. So you keep your eye out on my Facebook page or on Google+. Even have a look on the forum as well. We've got a proper forum going now, which is ukscale.com. If you jump on there, there'll be plenty of pictures of it going up on there. I'll also be putting pictures of this up, and if you have a look in the description box of the video, there'll also be a direct link to the gearbox on eBay as well. So anyways, nice one for watching. I'll see you all next weekend, and yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share the video about for us. Cheers guys. Ta-da.